for today's live event, the top 3 succession planning mistakes that credit unions make and how to avoid them. So it looks like as of right now, we have no viewers. So let's just give people a minute to join. And in the meantime, I'm going to set up our screen sharing. Okay, and I'll be sharing with you guys today a Prezi presentation. If you have not used Prezi before, it's pretty cool, I have to say. Okay. Okay, I still have no viewers, so I'm just going to give people a few moments to join. And in the meantime, I just will introduce myself to anyone who may not know me. My name is Alexia Mavrakis. I am an executive coach serving the credit union industry. I'm starting my new business venture in helping credit unions prepare for the retirement and upper management movement of their CEO, board of directors, and senior managers with succession planning, and hence the topic for today. So it is now 2:02. I still seem to have no viewers. Let me check my emails and see if anybody's having trouble getting into the event. Okay, looks like Tom may be on. So also, if you are on the live event, if you're able to see and hear me, if you could just let me know. This is also my first time using Google Hangouts on air, so there may be a little bit of a learning curve on both of our ends. So I appreciate your feedback. If you can see and hear me, if you could just let me know, that would be great. Okay, it looks like now we do have one viewer. So we will go ahead and just dive in and get started so as not to waste any of your guys' time. So again, thank you for joining me today for our live event, the top 3 succession planning mistakes that credit unions make and how to avoid them. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys so that you can see my presentation. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so in today's event, I do want it to be really informative for you. I want this to be a resource for you guys. You know, this is not a sales presentation at all. I just wanted to give you guys some good information on succession planning and what you can kind of do to at least get started. So today, in addition to discussing the some of the succession planning mistakes that credit unions make and how you can avoid those, we'll also be talking about the importance of succession planning for your credit union. So why is this something that you should even be thinking about, and why does it matter? Also, knowing who to invest in as leaders, which is going to help you maximize the efficiency of your succession planning. So you want to know both who could be good ideal candidates and the appropriate time to invest in them as leaders. And then also how to implement a leadership development program, which is a crucial step in succession planning. So we'll be covering all of that in today's event. So why do these things even matter, and why are they important? First of all, knowing these things is going to help you gain clarity on what should be done and what should be avoided for succession planning. So kind of how to approach succession planning as a whole. You also want to decide if succession planning is even appropriate for your credit union. So some smaller credit unions, if you just have a CEO and 2 MSRs on staff, maybe it's less important for you to think about succession planning at this time. Again, really not trying to sell you anything, just want to give you some great information. So hopefully this can help you decide that as well. Then you would want to know how to laser focus your training and development efforts on your ideal internal candidates. And really it's just your internal candidates, whether they be internal or external. That's up to you to decide. But it is really important that you can focus your training and development efforts, again, to maximize efficiency. And also to save your resources on training and development. So by the end of this training, you're going to be prepared to know the necessary steps and how long it will take to create a succession plan for your credit union. If you feel overwhelmed, if you don't even know where to begin, this training is really going to help you kind of start the process and start thinking about what is going to need to be done overall to create a succession plan. Also, you want to be able to develop future leaders quickly while saving money in the process. So this should not be a painful process. It should not take you, years to complete. This is a matter of a few months, 2 to 3 months, and you can have your formal succession plan in place that's going to last you for the next 5 to 7 years. And finally, by the end of this event, you're going to be able to ensure that the legacy and philosophy of your executives and directors is carried on as intended and not radically changed by a new regime. So we want to make sure that all the hard work that you guys are currently putting in is not undone by the next round of leaders that steps up to the plate. So I promise you that by the end of this event, I will tell you how to get more information on implementing a leadership development program and succession planning at your credit union. Of course, no strings are attached. Again, this is not a sales presentation, but I will give you that information at the end of today's event. So let's go ahead and get started with the top 3 mistakes that credit unions make regarding succession planning. The first being not investing in leadership development at all. So this is something that I see in a lot of credit unions, and it's actually quite detrimental to your succession planning because this is a crucial step in any succession plan. So the reason it's so important is that, first of all, it's going to ensure that you have candidates who are prepared to advance into leadership positions at the time that you need them to. And again, this can be for either internal candidates, or if you're looking at other credit unions for external candidates, or even if you're looking outside of the industry. It really doesn't matter. But what does matter is once you get your ideal candidates in the door, you want to have, that support system in place for them so that they're going to feel that they're getting the development and the support that they need. So by failing to invest in your leadership development and by skipping this step, you're ultimately failing to plan for the future of your credit union's management and ultimately the organization as a whole. Again, that's why this is so important. It should not be overlooked. It is definitely the first step in creating a succession plan, so something you really want to think about. You can avoid this mistake by implementing a formal leadership training and development program for your credit union. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you how to do that as well, all of the juicy details. So first of all, again, you want to ensure that steady flow of advancing professionals who are going to be ready to step up as your higher leaders retire or step down. The first step in doing this is assessing the leadership needs at your credit union to identify both the departments and positions that need development. And what I mean by that is you want to take a look at the leadership situation of your credit union as a whole and see what departments may be struggling with leadership development, or what positions need to be filled now, what positions will need to be filled within the next, let's say, 5 years, so that we can properly plan for management movement the best that we can. Of course, there will always be unanticipated changes, but we want to be as prepared as possible. And this is going to help you focus your efforts. So you'll know exactly which departments and which positions may be struggling or may just need leaders to step up within the next 5 years. Also, you're going to want to define the needed skills and competencies by department and position. So once you have that list of leadership needs, then you want to drill down even further. So now we know what departments and positions need to be filled or may need to be filled in the coming years. Now we want to take a look at what skills and competencies are needed for each of those positions, so that when we're looking to fill the positions, either we're hiring new people from outside or we're looking to promote from within, we know exactly what people need to be trained on for each position. Again, this is just going to help you focus your efforts and make sure that you're only training people on exactly what they need to be trained on. And when you do invest in your future leaders, you proactively prepare for any management changes take place at your credit union, whether they be, planned retirements or something unexpected comes up. Either way, it's going to prepare you and your staff for any changes in management. So again, why implementing a leadership development program is so important for succession planning. Another succession planning mistake that credit unions make is investing in the wrong people, or even investing in the right people but at the wrong points of their careers. So in order to have a succession plan that works at your credit union, you've got to get the right people on the right seats of the bus. And what I mean by that is, first of all, in this analogy, we're thinking of your credit union as a whole organization as the bus, right? So we want to make sure that everybody has the same goals, that your strategic corporate goals are clearly identified, and that everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows exactly what they need to do in order to get there. And then you want to have the right people on the right seats. So you want to make sure that the people that you're looking to promote into leadership positions are the right people to do the job, and also that they're in the correct position. So you don't want to, for example, take someone that really loves to travel and put them in a position that requires them to be in the office, 90 to 100% of the time. Perhaps that type of person may be better suited for business development or something where they would be traveling more. So these are just, things to think about. And obviously, investing in the wrong people altogether is both inefficient and frustrating. It's frustrating for you. It's frustrating for them. It's frustrating for everybody at the credit union because, you're just not getting anywhere by randomly investing in people that you think may want to move up into those types of positions, or that you think may be a good fit. You have to really know that before you start investing. So stop wasting money on training people that aren't a good fit for the positions that either you don't need to fill or they're not interested in stepping into. And again, I'll be giving you some information how to identify people that are a good fit. Also, even if you are currently investing in developing people who are a good fit for management positions, you have to make sure that they're able and willing to accept more responsibilities when you need them to. So if not, this is also going to be a huge waste of your resources. For example, you may have a younger employee that's really motivated and driven and career oriented, and you think, wow, they're going to be a great leader, so let's start investing in their development. But what they really want right now in their life is to start a family and spend more time at home and less time in the office. That obviously is not going to be a good fit. So again, these are things that we need to think about when deciding who to invest our resources in for leadership development. So you can avoid this mistake by assessing leadership performance and potential to identify ideal candidates. So if you're looking to promote someone from within, you want to look at their past job performance and their leadership potential. If you're looking to hire an external candidate, you want to look at their past job performance, and again, their potential to be good, strong leaders. And an excellent way to do this is by creating an ideal candidate profile. So you may have done something similar in branding exercises in which you're creating like an ideal member profile, for example, who you're targeting as members of the credit union. This is going to be very similar, but you're figuring out who you want to target to be potential leaders at your credit union within the organization. So you want to know as much about them as you can. What kind of characteristics do they have? What level of education? What are their professional and personal goals? And you want to determine all of this before you even start looking for people to fill the positions that need to be filled. You want to know exactly who you're looking for each position that needs to be filled. Then once you come up with this ideal candidate profile and you start picking people that you think will be your ideal candidates, the next step is to discuss their professional aspirations. So again, learn their career goals to determine if they're interested in advancing at the time that you need them to, and if so, at what point, at what point are they going to be prepared to step up to the responsibilities? Is it aligned with the timing that you're going to need to fill these positions? It's very important that your ideal candidate's goals are aligned with the leadership needs of your credit union. So again, making sure that everybody's on the same page and everyone's goals are aligned. When you determine who your ideal candidates are and then decide if their professional development goals are aligned with the leadership needs of the credit union, you ultimately set your team up for success. And this is going to save you money and time in employee acquisition and retention as well, which I'm sure all of you HR people will love. So the top succession planning mistake that credit unions make is not having a succession plan in place at all. I don't know if you guys currently have a succession plan. If you do you really need one? Well, let's think about, would your CEO and other executives like to retire one day? I'm assuming they would at some point. And you do need to have a succession plan in place to ensure the continued long-term success of your credit union. Also think about board succession planning. So your board of directors, obviously they're volunteers, but at some point they may want to step down as well, or, unexpected events happen in which they can no longer serve on the board. You want to make sure that you have some type of plan in place that's going to ensure that you have other people that are ready to step into those positions. I'm just going to grab some water. Thank you. So you can avoid this mistake by creating a formal succession plan for your credit union that can be used for several years, and then you want to update it as needed. So in addition to implementing a leadership development program and investing in the right people at the right time, there are some other things that you should do to develop your succession plan. So for example, creating a mentor program at your credit union will produce an organization-wide leadership support system. And I can speak from personal experience as a former credit union employee who did not have access to a formal mentorship program. I would have found that extremely helpful in just, bouncing ideas off of someone or picking someone's brain that was in a leadership position that I was aspiring to. I kind of just learned on my own as I went along, which it worked, but it would have definitely been much more easy for me and a more efficient process if I would have had that mentor in place. Also, you should provide executive coaching to your existing leaders and your future leaders as well. The executive coaching is going to help your current leaders in supporting them as they shift through a life transition from being a professional executive to a retiree, for example. And for your advancing leaders, it's going to support them through their career transition. So again, it can be a bit of a rocky road for new people working their way up the corporate ladder, and that executive coaching is really going to be there to support them through that. So when you have a formal succession plan in place, you not only ensure the continued success of the credit union, you also have the peace of mind knowing that there are competent leaders ready to take the helm when your executives and board members step down. So earlier I promised you guys that I would give you more information how to implement a leadership development program and succession plan at your credit union. And I would like to do that by inviting you all to have a one-on-one complimentary discovery call with me. And that is going to help you determine, first of all, your succession planning needs, and it will help me figure out the best plan of action for you and your credit union. And this is a very collaborative effort. It's definitely not me telling you what to do or what you should do. I want to really discover what you need, what your goals are in terms of succession planning and leadership development, and figure out the best way that we can work together so that I can help you get this done efficiently. Now it's already November, believe it or not, and I don't want you guys going into the new year with this problem. Even if we don't have a succession plan completed for you by the end of the year, I know this time of year can be a little hectic for everybody with the holidays, but let's at least start getting the ball rolling and have this conversation so that we can determine a plan of action for you for the new year and get this done and taken care of for you. So I have developed a leadership acceleration and shift support program that will result in a customized formal succession plan that you could use at your credit union for years to come. And if you are interested in setting up a discovery call so that we can, again, collaborate and determine if this is something that may be beneficial to you and your credit union, please definitely let me know and we'll get that on the books. So I really just want to thank you all again for your time today. Here's all of my contact information. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time. I hope that you did get some valuable information from this event, and I want to kind of turn things over to you guys now and address any questions that you may have. So I like to open the floor for your questions. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my screen sharing and open the Q&A on the Google Hangout. Okay. So I'm ready for your guys' questions. Anything that you guys have, please let me know. I'll be staying online for another however long it takes to answer everyone's questions. But when I start getting those questions, then I can go ahead and answer them. So please, anything that you have for me, even any feedback about the event would be great. So I'm just waiting for some responses. And guys, please feel free to use me as a resource. Anything that you can think of, feel free to ask regarding succession planning, leadership development, anything that you may want to know about me, please let me know. If nobody has any questions, I will be hopping off in about 2 or 3 minutes. And I do see 3 viewers here, so thank you guys for attending and bearing with me as I kind of get the hang of Google Hangouts. It's always fun learning new things, but technology is great because I could get everybody in a room together, do this event for you live, kind of introduce myself, and talk more about succession planning for your credit union. Okay, so if nobody has any questions, I'm going to probably hop off in a minute. I'll give you guys just another minute. I still see 3 viewers on the line. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hop off now. Again, I want to just thank everybody for coming to the event today. Please feel free to contact me with any questions that you think of afterwards. And I hope that you guys really found this to be a valuable resource. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day. Bye-bye.